From the Office of Dewey, Teachum, and Howe, case number 11235, graphing a line. Here are some steps for you to follow when graphing a line. Step 1. Put the equation into y equals mx plus b form. Step 2. Plot the y-intercept. Step 3. Count off the slope twice. Step 4. Connect the dots. Take some time to review the concept of slope. Slope is the m part of your equation. Recall that slope is rise over run, or simply the change in y over the change in x. Let's look at a couple of examples. In y equals 1/2 x plus 5, the slope, or m, is equal to 1/2. In y equals -3/4 x plus 2, your slope is -3/4. Let's review the y-intercept. The y-intercept is also known as the vertical intercept. It is the plus b part of your equation. You always begin by graphing this point first. The coordinate point is always 0, b. Let's look at a couple of examples. In y equals 3/4 x plus 6, your y-intercept is 0, 6. In y equals 5x minus 4, your y-intercept is 0, -4. Remember, the sign in front of the number always stays with that number. Let's do a few examples together. Our first one is y equals 2x minus 4. The y-intercept is 0, -4, so we plot that point first. Our slope is +2, but since it is a whole number, we put it over 1 to make it the fraction 2 over 1. Now we can count off the slope twice. So from the y-intercept, we can count up 2 and over 1, up 2 and over 1. Since we have 3 points, we can now connect the dots and make our line. Our next example is 2x plus 3y equals 6. First, we need to get the equation into y equals mx plus b form. So we start out with 2x plus 3y equals 6. And the first thing we need to do is move our x to the opposite side. In order to do that, we have to subtract 2x from each side, which leaves us with 3y equals -2x plus 6. The next thing we need to do is get y by itself, so we have to divide each term by a +3. Our final answer will be y equals -2/3 x plus 2. Our next step is to actually graph the line. In our equation, the y-intercept is 0, +2. So on our graph, we need to plot that first. Our slope is -2/3. So from our y-intercept, we need to count down 2 and right 3 and plot that point. Since we can't go down 2 and right 3 any further, we go off of our graph, we can actually do the opposite and count up 2 and left 3 and plot that point as well. Since we have 3 points, we can make our line, so we just simply connect our dots. Our last example is x minus 4y equals -8. First, we need to get the equation into y equals mx plus b form. So we begin with our original equation, x minus 4y equals -8. Again, we need to move our x term to the other side, so since x is positive, we need to subtract it from each side. We're left with negative 4y equals negative x minus 8. Our last step is to get y by itself, so we need to divide each term by negative 4. That leaves us with y equals 1/4 x plus 2, because remember, a negative divided by negative is a positive. The last step is to actually graph the equation. So our equation is y equals 1/4 x plus 2. Our y-intercept in this equation is 0, positive 2. So on our graph, we plot that point first. And our slope is 1/4. So from our y-intercept, we're going to count up 1 and right 4 and plot that point. But remember, we can also go in reverse and count down 1 and left 4 and plot that point. We have our 3 points, so all that's left to do is simply connect the dots. Graphing a line is brought to you by the Scanlon Tutoring Center at Jefferson Community College.